From the south of France, we've headed to the hills this week, although the Red Bull Ring rather feels like a beachside resort on the surface of the sun. It is the Austrian Grand Prix, the 32nd World Championship Austrian Grand Prix, and the 13th time we've come racing here at Spielberg. We're in the Styrian Hills, and we have a race in prospect to savour this afternoon. In the past, wins from pole 5 out of 12 on this track. Can Charles Leclerc take a victory, a maiden victory, from his second ever pole position this afternoon? I said we're in the hills. Only 32% of Austria is below 1,600 feet. And this is the beautiful sight and the 2.68 mile circuit that we're going to be racing on this afternoon. 71 laps, only 10 corners, 3 to the left and 7 to the right, 5 braking zones, and an elevation change that leaves you gasping for air if you're ever brave enough to do the run up to turn 3. In 2017, turn 1 saw the end of the race for Danny Kvyat, Fernando Alonso and also Max Verstappen, who starts on the front row today. In turn 3, Nico Rosberg under pressure from his teammate Lewis Hamilton. This was the last time Hamilton led a lap around this circuit. And turn 4 in 1998, what an epic battle it was between Mika Häkkinen diving down the inside in the McLaren and Michael Schumacher in the Ferrari. The 3 compounds of tyres that have to cope with track temperatures well into the late 50 degrees centigrade at the moment are the C2, C3 and C4. The medium and hard tyre are going to be used, but for how much longer can the teams go on them? Last reading, 58 degrees track temperature. Boy, is that toasty.
Yes, that's how it feels out there too, on the soles of your shoes. It's going to be a hot race, but these young drivers are super athletes. They should be prepared for it, but of course they're sharing the cockpit with lots of electronical items and bits and pieces. They're clothed in 4 layers of fireproof clothing and crash helmet, gloves, boots, balaclava. It does get incredibly hot. Might be open air, might be an open cockpit, but it's amazing how tight and how hot it gets inside the cockpit. I am really looking forward to this race.
And with all that hot air that is flying around, just how close are these cars going to be able to run to each other? Just how vital is the start going to be for the likes of Verstappen and Hamilton and Bottas starting behind pole?
I think that's why the first lap or two might be a touch crazy. Then they're going to have to just sort it out a bit, understand where their temperatures are at. We're at 700 meters altitude here as well, so the air is a little bit thinner, to say the least. So cooling these cars, there are no fans on them as such. They only cool by going through the air. So if you're ploughing into a lot of hot air from the car in front of you, that's discarded, you've got double trouble.
So we've got a top 4 here. Lewis Hamilton looking for a 5th consecutive victory for the first time, for the second time in his Formula 1 career. Valtteri Bottas trying to win here for the second time in 3 years. Max Verstappen trying to win for the second time in 2 years. And Charles Leclerc going for that maiden victory that was rather robbed from his hands in Bahrain when he was leading from pole earlier on in the season. It's the soft compound tyre for Norris, Raikkonen, Giovinazzi, Gasly, Vettel, Magnussen and Leclerc at the start. The rest are all on the medium tyre, which means they can go that much longer.